Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's session on Echiro cream and Hokutolite plate. My name is Cynthia, and just right before I start, you might like to get ready your Hokutolite plate, if you have one, it looks like that, or your Echiro cream. And some of you might have some facial products like an eye serum, an eye cream, or a moisturizer. So just get them ready while I set up my slide. It just take a minute or two to just put them next to you, or even a mirror if you have. Like I have a really nice mirror here, so that you can see, if you like, the before and after of using the Hokutolite plate when you work on yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to share the slides and just give a minute for you to grab your stuff, have them ready so that when we go to the hands-on session, you're prepared. Okay, that's great. So let me spotlight myself, pick up my slides up, and I am good to go. Okay, so we're going to share today basically how to use the Hokutolite plate, and also on its own, together with other MLife products to help your body, especially if you are in pain. Why is your body in pain? So we'll talk a bit more about pain, how to use these tools to help manage pain. And of course, other than pain, it has a lot of benefit for your body as well. So let's move right along on that. There you go. The different types of pain. I don't know how many of you here online have experiences with pain. In my experience, everyone will have some kind of pain sometime in their life. So there are different type of pain. Nociceptive pain simply means pain that you suffered as a result of impact. Say you had a fall, you had a knock, so you end up with pain. There could be neuropathic pain, where your nerves are irritated either due to compression or pathology. You get an infection, it affects a nerve. Nerve is what sends information to our brain to tell us that we are in pain. All right, or it could be an inflammation going on, and again, this inflammation could be as a result of infection or simply overuse, or overstretching. So many reasons underlying that. So talk a little bit about inflammation. Whenever your body has pain, it is an inflammation. Okay, so that is a direct relationship there. So all kind of pain will have some form of inflammation involved. If its inflammation is very acute, means it's very sharp, there are 5 typical symptoms. Of course, one is continuous feeling of pain in the body, or feeling pain upon contact with wound. Okay, like I was ever stung by a wasp before, bee sting. Well, that was definitely acute inflammation because the pain didn't stop, couldn't find the stop button to press, right? There's redness, the injured area may become red because a lot of blood is getting there to do repair work. There's also a loss of function maybe involved, like if somebody were to sprain the ankle, you lose that function and the range of movement. Because when a joint get injured, it get inflamed, you can't move it properly. And well, sometimes you may, depending on where the injury is, okay? Or swelling, accumulation of fluid can happen when there's inflammation. They will also come along with it. Because when the tissues are inflamed, then there's a lot of lymphatic work going on and can lead to an accumulation of fluid. And edema is simply a very proper way of calling a swell. The edema is a swell, right? And yes, heat in the area that with increased blood flow is blood that brings heat. Well, it's very straightforward. You will know that you're in acute inflammation when it happens. Basically, it's a lot of pain, redness. You just feel very uncomfortable, it's swelling and all of that. All right, that's acute inflammation. So why are we talking about inflammation? Because Echiro cream is really great for bringing down inflammation. It's very powerful in bringing down inflammation and therefore pain. Right, Echiro cream is one of MLife's maintenance product. It's an American technology, but it combined the philosophy of traditional Chinese medicine. So it works with the Meridian health system in traditional Chinese medicine. It's also been approved by FDA, Food and Drug Administration. We know that's the US Department of Health that oversees all healthcare related matters in the US. So what goes into the ingredient, we'll talk more about that. But the main key player in it is the fatty acids that was extracted from the animal called emu. Later you will see a picture of that. And the technology employed is nanotech, because the extraction was done, the particles are extracted in such a fine way that will really help your body to absorb later on and then utilize the good stuff in the Echiro cream to help bring down inflammation. And therefore, people who have experienced the Echiro cream, you will know this. When you apply the Echiro cream, right, just a few gentle rub and you don't feel the cream anymore because it has already been absorbed into the tissues. And therefore, there's also good penetration, which means better efficacy. So there you go, key ingredients of the Echiro cream. The main selling point is this very precious ingredient we call emu oil. So the scientists call it liquid gold, simply because it's highly valuable, very precious. Okay, history is more than 100 years older than me. Well, emu has been around for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, together with the dinosaurs. Okay, dinosaurs are not around anymore, but the emu is still around, one of the largest birds in the world. And emus, they have very strong legs. They run a lot in their lifetime. That's how they move around. They don't take train and cars like us. However, with all that running that the emu is doing, it's interesting that their joints do not get any inflammation or damage, even though they're a big bird and they carry a lot of their body weight, a lot of impact. Okay, no inflammation, no damage. So that's how their body are structured to have very strong joints. And so these fatty acids are extracted from the emu. They have very powerful anti-inflammatory effect we mentioned earlier. If it can bring down the inflammation, it will bring down the swelling, it will bring down the pain, it will help with repair. So it's also been shown to be very helpful with tibia repair and regeneration. And okay, if you are interested, chemical structures of the fats in the emu are quite similar. In fact, very similar to that of human fats. And emu fatty acids in the production of Echiro cream, very advanced technologies. And what we mentioned earlier, apart from nanotech, there's active extraction, bioseparation technology. So it's the technology that goes into the cream as well as the ingredient that make it so effective. Oh, the picture of the animal, the emu. Oh, look at the beautiful emu eggs. Yeah, we were saying, right? The emu, it runs very fast all its life, but its knees never wear out. How fast is it running? 80 kilometers per hour. That's almost like driving faster than a car on the standard roads in Singapore. Okay, so don't have to take Grab, right on an emu. But it's running that for this entire lifetime and got very strong knees, and so it must have some good stuff in it that can help us with our joint health as we run, okay, as we walk. We don't even run so much. These are some of the things that go into Echiro cream, apart from the emu oil, of which the fatty acids are extracted. There's also aloe vera, menthol, capsaicin. This is the ingredient that goes into the peppers. That's very good for moving qi and extracting the mucus from the body. Then there's grapeseed extract, which is highly antioxidant, and glycerin. So the effect of Echiro cream, okay, just will bring all of this out. It can help to reduce wind, cold, dampness, and paralysis. So these four terms are very Chinese medicine. Okay, Chinese talk about Feng, Han, Shi, Bi. If you understand Chinese, that's why it sounds, what is this? These are directly translated from terminology from Chinese medicine. So wind, well, if you burp a lot, you know there's wind in you. And well, you understand rheumatism. For the Chinese, you call rheumatism as feng shi. That means there's wind, there's dampness in the tissues. Right? So cold and dampness, they always bring the energy down, slow down the qi flow. A paralysis is like a severe form of numbness where you really can't feel much, or it affects the movement in your joints and muscles. So what Echiro cream does, it can help to reduce all these pathological factors. Okay, so how did pain come about, and how did all this come about? Now, all these we call them external pathogens or pathogenic factors. So when we have pathogenic factors in the body, it will result in discomfort such as pain, like the joints. Joints are often sore and in pain when the body has dampness. The example I quoted earlier, rheumatism, right? Impede the chi flow. So when you have this, you also have meridian obstruction. The chi flow, the energy flow in your meridians is not so great. Therefore, you have poor blood and chi circulation. Now, meridian system is basically like the traffic map of the body, of which life energy flows along. Our map, our body, there are a lot of energetic pathway. Right? We are in a system of energy. We need to eat to have energy to move. So energy used in that sense, not woo energy. You don't eat, you have no energy. Okay. When you run, you use a lot of energy. That's what it means. So meridian pathway are very specific pathway in the body by which energy moves through. So when you have pathogenic factors affecting you, like wrinkle, dampness, or paralysis, it means you're also suffering from some meridian stagnation or obstruction, which can result, therefore, in aches and pain, and they can manifest anywhere depending on which organ or which part is affected or is attacked by the pathogenic factors. So like people who often have headaches and do not sleep well, this is a sign that your meridian flow is not great. You need better blood and chi circulation. People who suffer from injury, you will also need some help in this area. So Echiro cream is helpful in clearing up this obstruction. It helps to move the circulation in your body much better. In fact, it's designed to just go for the meridians, to move the circulation in the meridian. That's how it works. And because of the nanotechnology employed, it works really fast. Okay, I've seen how it works really fast. So if you have aches and pain, we normally apply the cream, the Echiro cream, where it hurts. And later on, we'll share also how to use the Hokutolite plate to enhance the outcome. Echiro cream and Hokutolite plate, they are great to go hand in hand together. Okay, a great group of products that go well with one another. So what happens when you then put on the Echiro cream? What would you feel? All right, some people can feel it's a little bit cooling with a little bit warmth. How can cool and warmth coexist? Yes, you can. Okay, you feel it cooling is especially when you have some dampness. You feel a little bit warm when the Echiro cream brings circulation to the area. There you see, if you feel, how come after I apply the Echiro cream, I feel cold or cool, 凉凉的. Okay, means there's too much coldness in the body. So this is one of the way the Echiro cream works to help you expel the cold. Our body doesn't like cold because we need a lot of movement. You boil water, you see the water boiling, you see movement in the water. Therefore, it takes heat, energy to move the chi and blood in the body. So too cold, not great. Okay, so anyone who generally feel cold on a normal day and everybody else isn't, means you will need better circulation in the body. Okay, like Grace Song says she feels cold. Yeah, so you really need, you can use the Echiro cream. And afterwards, you can also use Echiro cream, use Hokutolite and do the hands-on with us and see how you feel after. Now, if you apply the Echiro cream and the area feels hot, it means it's improving blood circulation. So it's an intelligent product if you think about this. Now, it's not like a hot cream or a cold cream. It will, when applied to your body, then your body respond, and that's when you feel the cold and the hot. It's not like you apply pepper and you will definitely be hot. So the body will move the chi and the circulation in the meridians. And when that happens, your body will then do what it needs. Because now the traffic is clear, the body can self-regulate, and that's when you can feel hot or cold. So the temperature is not from the cream itself, but it's a result of the response from your body. Okay, that's why you can feel hot and cold at the same time, or either or at the same time. Okay, that's a reminder. So after you apply the cream, please don't sit directly under the aircon or the fan and let it spin and blow cold air onto you. It's important to keep yourself warm so that you don't catch any wind or cold. Okay, think about this. If you apply the Echiro cream and it opens up the circulation there, it feels hot, your pores are open, you really do not want to throw in something that is cold or damp because that can affect the balance there, right? So I hope the speed is okay so far, everyone. If it's okay for you, can you just type a 1 so I can have a bit of a response to see if the speed that I'm explaining is making sense. Oh, it is? Okay, great. Thank you all for your response. Yeah, it's great. Okay, 3 steps to relieve joint pain. If you do have a joint pain, now the thing is, Echiro cream works really well when you apply it to a joint. So what is a joint? A joint is a place where 2 bones meet, like your wrist, your elbow, your knee, your ankle. So they're very, very good for joints. If you apply it at a joint, the penetration is excellent. So if you have any joint pain, Echiro cream should be your top choice. Excellent penetration. Of course, this unsaturated fatty acids come from the emu oil we were talking about, and its property is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. We mentioned before it can help to bring down inflammation in a very powerful way. Okay, so when the inflammation is reduced, right, healing can happen better and faster. Think about it. When the traffic jam is not there, everybody can work better, right? Everybody can work better. Everybody refers to all the reparative substances. Your cells can work better to help in the repair. And therefore, when the inflammation goes down, your pain will disappear. When the circulation improves, your numbness will subside. So this is how it works. Right, so much about Echiro cream is so good, and to enhance it, we can use the Hokutolite plate to stretch it, bring it a bit further. And of course, the Hokutolite plate is shaped in this way, just like because I don't know how many of you does gua sha before. It's shaped like a typical gua sha board. It's an ergonomic design because with this shape, you can do gua sha, which is sliding on your body parts very easily. Okay, because our body is full of shapes and curves. We are not like square and rectangles. Gua sha is from ancient China, has a long history already. In Huangdi Neijing, which is the Yellow Emperor's Classic, is already stated that it's being used for more than 2,000 years ago. Right, so Grace Ong here does gua sha as well, so she'll be very familiar. So it's one of the first 6 traditional Chinese medicine treatment and health technique. What are those? Okay, we talk about 扁石. Okay, 扁 stone is 扁石. People use 扁石, and which refers to our modern day gua sha board. Acupuncture, 针灸, amoxibustion, eye, herbs, 草药, 推拿, okay, and qigong. So it's one of the very important treatment, and it has significant curative effect and wide application. So it depends on which level of gua sha you do, it can be very, very powerful. And this is from Zhang Xiuqin, who is the first gua sha expert in China. So 扁 stone or 扁石 is a stone because when they started doing gua sha, they actually use a stone. This stone can be found naturally in the nature. It's really like a stone. It's not like now we have modern technology to manufacture the gua sha board. So last time it used to be called 扁, okay? 扁石. Right. So what is the word gua sha is made of 2 words. Gua is the action of scraping. So you're literally scraping. Sha is what comes out as a result of the scraping. You can see this picture on the right of this lady with these red patches. This is sha. Okay, this is I would say a very strong intervention to result in patches of red like this. So what is this redness about? It's blood stasis. So the word stasis means not moving. So there's blood stagnation. So blood stagnate because qi stagnate. Qi and blood, they happen to get. If your qi move, your blood will flow. Okay, if your qi move, your blood will flow. If your qi stagnates, your blood will stagnate. So blood stasis is the stagnation of the blood. So it's stuck blood. And a common manifestation of stuck blood is what we know as a blood clot. And this you might be more familiar. A blood clot in the brain can result in a stroke. A blood clot in a blood vessel in the heart can result in heart attack. And poor blood circulation can result in numbness. So they are all, different degree of the same thing. So Sha is a situation of blood stasis in your meridian qi. So when you have a blood stasis like that, think of that, the blood is very slow moving, it's very thick, so it will prevent good circulation, which is why it hinders the circulation of qi and blood, as well as the exchange of nutrients and metabolites, and cause the pathological changes of tissue and organs. So when we say the word pathology, it means it can end up in a disease state. So that's what we meant by pathology, right? It can cause disease. It's disease causing. It make it sick. So that's the meaning of the word pathology. Therefore, there is a saying in Chinese medicine that says all diseases can cause sha. Yeah, because they are interrelated, isn't it? If your blood stagnate, you can end up in a disease state. If you have a disease state, it could mean, quite likely meant that you have a stasis somewhere in the body. So sha is a harmful toxin that causes many diseases and accelerates human aging. In other words, you do not want anything to stagnate in your body. You want everything to be moving. Okay, without movement, there is no life. So blood stasis and pathological products separated from the microcirculation are also called as sha. Yeah, basically anything that are remnants, that are no longer useful, that should be out of your body but is not out yet and continue to be an illegal permanent resident in your body, they can manifest as sha. So in the practice of gua sha, you found different diseases of different severity, and they can be seen from the different color of the sha, what is the shape like, and where it is located in your body. Here are some examples. Okay, if you have a light pedicure is just patches of spots, pink spots like that. So if it's light pedicure, typical pink color, this is rather common. So good news when you have this after a session of gua sha with the typical tools. Now we're talking about typical tools. Okay, means your body is pretty healthy, your microcirculation has a little bit of disruption, but your body is still able to self-regulate pretty well. If you have a mild pedicure like this one, you can see light red, a little bit dense. It means the body is in a sub-health state. We don't say you're unhealthy. You are also not exactly 100% healthy, so in sub-health. And we mean the meridians are in mild hypoxic state. The word hypoxic simply means low in oxygen. Your body is lacking in oxygen. Okay, so not too bad, but not too good either. You look at this redness. This looks a little bit intimidating, isn't it? So this is considered moderate pedicure, and you have multiple purple, red, and blue colored pedicure, and the diameter is more than 2 cm. You know, your patches is more than 2 cm, but more than 2 centimeters in diameters. It means that the body has an underlying pathology, there's an underlying disease, and that means your body has some kind of a long-term hypoxia in the meridians. Now, when do you have hypoxia? And that's when, say, your blood is flowing very slowly, you have blood stagnation, it's not moving, it's not delivering oxygen to your cells. So when it doesn't deliver oxygen to your cells, they end up being hypoxic. So when they're hypoxic, the body is in trouble. Your body needs oxygen for everything, right? So you have a severe pedicure here. You can see it's quite dark. Okay, it become dark cyan, bluish black. English say English Hokkien say tear. That is what it means. Diameter more than 2 centimeters, multiple lump-shaped sharp spots. The body is in a severe subhealth state, or there's already a pathology developing in the body. The disease is there. So we'll say, please get some medical examination going on there, because there's definitely something big going on in your system. It may need some medical attention. So what happens after a traditional gua sha session is the darker the pedicure, the better. What do you think? Okay, many people think for gua sha, right, the more painful, the better. It is not true, okay? You don't need pain in order to be effective. So gua sha is not supposed to be painful or having black or purple pedicure to show how effective it is. It is not an indicator of its effectiveness. In fact, the experts say you should stop scraping. If you see red or purple red pedicure, you should stop there, okay? And if the scraping position and strength are not handled well, the gua sha session, not only will it be ineffective, it can also cause skin damage, okay? So not wise. In general, the spots in the skin will appear red and they should fade quickly too. Okay, while the body parts which have underlying condition, they can appear more painful. Yeah, but pedicure will appear slowly and develop blood stasis and fade slowly. So remember this, more is not necessarily better. You should not end up with patches of blue and black and purple. Okay, that's not the way to do it. These are the traditional gua sha tools. I have some of them, a couple of them. I have many of them. Yeah, and you know, I have a teacher. I have a teacher who used a spoon. Really, in her tool bag, she has a spoon, and that is what she used to do gua sha. And she ever used it on me before. She said, it works. Why not? You know, people use coin, use not suggesting that you use them. You need to kind of know what you're doing, which is why our top recommendation, if you are not trained in doing gua sha, can you do something for self-care for yourself in a safe way? Yes, use the Hokutolite blade. Okay, it's very safe because of the energies that it comes with, and you don't need to use effort to scrape, so it's safe in that sense. Okay, it's not by brute force, so that's why it's safe, and you don't have to worry about skin damage. Okay. Yeah, Mida, yes, your late dad used coin, yeah? That's what people use, okay? Porcelain spoon and all sorts of things. Not suggesting that you try them. Let's use the Hokutolite plate. Now, it has three energies. We'll talk about more what these energies are afterwards. Okay, three energies in a small little plate that can help to smoothen the meridian flow, the chi flow and the blood flow in the meridians, in the circulation, bring down inflammation and reduce pain. Okay, this is our beauty plate. People call it a beauty plate because it's very good for face sculpting, which we're going to do some hands-on afterwards. So where does it come from? Now, the Hokutolite stone is found in only a few places on this earth. Okay, it's extracted as a natural mineral by the name of Hokutolite. So, of course, the one that we have are from the Tamagawa hot spring in Japan. Okay, so this mineral is found in the hot spring in Japan. And this hot spring, the Tamagawa hot spring, is of course the volcano site. But many people go there every year because of the tremendous therapeutic effect they experience when they are there. So even the Japanese emperor, the biggest of the biggest, have to make a reservation 1 year in advance to secure a spot at the hot spring. This is what they do. They go to the hot spring, they literally lie down around to enjoy the therapeutic effect of the minerals that are given off in this ambience and environment of the Tamagawa hot spring. Okay, of course, the stone that was there, the mineral that is there that is giving off such therapeutic effect is the Hokutolite stone, which is the material we use that goes into the Hokutolite plate. So there are only 3 places found on Earth where you can find Hokutolite: in Taiwan, Beitou River in Taiwan. That's why another name for Hokutolite stone is Beitou Shi, from the place of origin, or the Tamagawa hot spring in Japan, or Chile. Okay, Chile in South America has the Hokutolite mineral. So yearly, we have 30 to 50 people visiting the Tamagawa hot spring, 3,000 to 5,000 a day at the peak season, just to experience the healing of the Hokutolite. So these are the 3 energies we spoke about earlier with 3-in-1, which is far infrared. The plate itself, right? The Echiro plate itself has far infrared emitting from it. Okay, it also has negative ions. Anion means negative ions emitting from it, and it has a weak current. And this weak current is very effective in getting the flow in your meridians going. So this 3-in-1 is unique to the Hokutolite plate. Well, you may find some product in the market that has anion or negative ion. You might find some product that has far infrared, but it's very rare for you to find a product that has all 3, especially the weak current. And to find one with 3-in-1 is really precious. So what do they do now? Far infrared will help to smoothen or improve your blood circulation, as well as promoting microcirculation. We know negative ion helps with antioxidation. It helps with oxidative stress and damage. This is what antioxidants is anti-aging. Okay, the more antioxidants you have in your body, it will help to prevent cell damage, and we call that anti-aging. With a weak current, as I mentioned, it will help your qi and blood to flow better, especially the qi in your meridian channels. Okay, now channels and collaterals, they are all the different pathways in the meridian system. You just call them meridian. Meridian consists of channels and collaterals that help help your chi to move better, so that everything is moving, so you don't have a stasis situation, you don't have a stagnating situation. And when that happens, right, it actually enhances your immunity. So that's how great this little harmless plate You know, if you don't know, you don't know. Okay, it's actually very valuable, and it's a blessing to be able to have a tool like that that you can bring around with you and use it on a daily basis. So the amount of negative ion that it produces is measured with a device. So these are all the different other minerals and stones, the most famous one being tourmaline. Many people are familiar with tourmaline, 电气石. Okay, tourmaline even, and people use tourmaline in a lot of therapeutic product to help produce infrared. Even tourmaline, such a well-known, popularly used mineral, has only 383 units of negative ion. But look at Hokutolite. It's almost 10 times more. It's 3,552 units of negative ion. Okay, so it's like way, 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 way ahead of all the other minerals and crystals in terms of its negative ion emission, right? So there we go. This is the Hokutolite plate. And of course, the effect we mentioned before. So let's do some facelifting. If you use it twice a week on the face, we don't overdo it, right? Twice a week is apparently what is optimal and recommended by people who have been doing and researching into its usage. So if you want to use it for face sculpting, a more refined way of calling it is face sculpting lah. Okay, face sculpting, use it twice a week on your face. It can help to reduce wrinkles, increase metabolism. So when your face has better metabolism, right, you burn more fats on your face, you end up getting yeah, nicer shape lah. And of course, skin firming. There you go. Take a look at this picture. Okay. So be gentle when you use the Hokutolite blade. You don't need to scrape really hard. You know, we say use brute force. No. Maybe when you do gua sha with a spoon, you may need to, but with the Hokutolite blade, the key is to be gentle because the three energies will help you to move whatever you need to move. Okay, it don't need you to use your effort. So you wash your face, you can apply moisturizer, or you can even put facial products on first, because when you have some products on your face, it's easier to slide the plate along. Otherwise, if it's just nothing, you find that it's a little slow moving. So you can use your put on your moisturizer before you do the sculpting, or put on a serum before you do your sculpting. That would be wonderful. Some key points to note, because you're also using it to do a few things. You're using it to drain the lymphatic drainage. You're using it to move the circulation. You're using it to move the qi along your face. So there are some directions involved that you want to pay special attention to. Now think about it. You want your face to be sculpted in this way, lifted, right? So never do it downwards. It's always upwards like that. So can you type upwards in the chat box? So I feel like this moral responsibility to be explaining the directions very clearly, so everyone looks prettier after that, not the other way around. Okay, upwards. You see, all the arrows are pointing upwards. Very important for face sculpting. Upwards and outwards. Okay, never strip it towards the middle. It's always towards the side. Up and out. Okay, definitely say do wrong way will sack. Yeah, just take my word for it. If you do it the wrong way, you won't like it. Don't try. Just take my word for it. Okay. And that's why if you have a mirror now, you can look into your mirror and decide on which side of the face you want to start working on. We just do one side first so that you can compare for yourself. That would be interesting, I feel. All right. So just get your Hokutolite plate ready, get your mirror ready if you want. Hope your face is clean, put on some products. And okay, now, okay, I do have a video here, but it's not showing up here, but that's fine. Okay, so upward and outward. Yes, upward and outward. So let me stop share for a minute to get a video up so that you can see. Okay, just a second. So we do have this video yesterday, but today is not there. That's fine. Just a minute. It will come out very shortly. Thank you for your patience. Okay, also, you know, this is also time for you to get all your stuff, all your tools ready. All right. Okay. So let's see. Okay, you can see teacher Evie because if I take out my spectacles, I can't see. So she is explaining to you the direction. Remember, it is always up and out, like Sun Jin say, up and out. So you can start with the eyes. Okay, you can start with the eyes. So you can use the pointed part of the Hokutolite plate if you have a good look at it, right? There's this long pointed part here, and that's what you can use on the eyes. Yeah, see teacher Evie is doing and enjoying. So you can see the direction that she's doing. You are always moving it up and out, okay? Up and out. And you don't hear any voice because she's speaking in Chinese, so I'm using her video. Now, if you want to do on the face, this is how you can do it. If you have a plate, you can feel that, okay? The longer end is below, the shorter end is up. Okay, let me stop the video here for a moment, okay? Is that clear on how do you work on the face? You can see on this picture 1 to 2. Okay. Stop share for a while and oh, spotlight my video. So this is the plate. You can see its shape. All right. So the long end you will put it on the inside, the short end on the outside, so that when you are sweeping, remember to do it upwards like this. Okay. Yeah, because it is designed to fit your face nicely. Okay, so when you lift up like this, you'll get the shaping effect. And it's very important to count. You need to count. If you do it, I suggest you do 8 times on each side. Because after you do one side, you need to do the other side to balance it. So do not just do one side and leave it at that. If you do this side very well and you don't do this side well, you end up not balanced. Okay? All right, putting this back. So you get the idea. For the chin, it's very easy, the side of the face that you can use. So if you look at step 2, 3, 4, all right, this is what teacher Evie is doing now. Can you see that? Yeah, so it's very easy. It looks like there are many, many steps, but it's only one idea, okay? Now, if you hold up, you can see my Hokutolite plate. So to do the chin, because of the edge, we use this, all right? I hope you can see that and sweep. Now, to do the rest of the face, you use the knife edge. This, I call it the knife edge. It's like your knife, right? You're going to cut. Use the knife edge to just sweep, and always pull it towards the direction of your ear, okay? So you can do 8 strokes for every section. Although in the slide, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but every face is different. Your shape is different. The whole idea is to be sweeping your entire face in a lifting position. I hope you understand that. So of course, when it comes to this would be your VH, then use the knife edge for number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 before you do the eyes. Okay, sorry about that. Let me make the slide big. So 1, 2, 3. So do all this area. You can do 8 strokes per area. Okay, I'm just curious, how many of you are doing it alongside with this hands on? Because if you are, I slow down a bit. If you are not doing, you're just listening, then I will speed up a bit. So those who are doing it alongside with me, can you type a 1 so that I know? Okay, Wendy, very good. Okay, only Wendy, not the rest are not doing. Okay, so do one side, 8 strokes all the way. By the time it comes to the eyes, all right, by the time it comes to the eyes, I grace on as well. Because for the eye, it's a delicate area, so don't use the knife edge because your eye is so small. So use, again, this pointed edge to work your eye area, okay, to work your eye area. So I hope that is clear. So same thing, 8 stroke, and we're going to now talk about working the forehead. So let's continue. Evie. Okay, so you do one side, okay? Don't do 2 sides yet. Just do one side so you can see the effect. Then after class, there will be a video. You can follow the video to do the other side. But once you understand the concept, it's very easy. You don't have to memorize anything. All right, whole idea is just lifting and sweeping. Especially if you have eye serum or eye cream, right? It's really nice. And now you're doing the forehead. This is very good for wrinkles. Okay, you do it zigzag. Zigzag from eyebrow to the hairline. Zigzag from the eyebrow to the hairline. Okay, and you also do a light sweeping. Lifting is easy, mida. Exactly. Okay. All right. So this is how you work the forehead. The reason why I'm using Teacher EB's video, she's doing a great job with the demonstration. I have my spectacles. I take out my spectacles. I can't see and I don't speak very well. So for the forehead, you can use the protruding edge again, and you do zigzag towards the hairline, zigzag. And once you're done, use the knife edge to sweep. You can sweep to the left or sweep to the right at the hairline, kind of like a closing to move the lymph, down to the lymph node, because our lymph node is actually on the neck. Okay, the main lymph node is on the neck, and later you will see we have a very important closing step. So I hope so far it's easy. Okay, so let's take a look. We'll continue. So we're done all the way from, very easy. Thank you, Wendy, for your feedback. So from the chin to the cheek to the eye to the forehead. A very important step now is the closing. You need to know, you need to close it. Okay, this is how you close. You sweep from the chin down to the neck and towards your collarbone or your shoulder, because that's where the lymph will eventually drain. So do it 3 times. So this closing step is very, very important. All right. The closing step is very important. Okay, you want me to show the closing again? Now, you have to use the knife edge to do the closing. So you have to sweep up, come down to your neck, just follow this all the way down. Either you can stop here or down towards your collarbone. That's fine, 3 times on the side that you're doing, So you do one side first, close it, then you do the other side, then you close it. The closing is very important for this whole face sculpting process to be complete. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Any questions on this, on face sculpting? And well, I wonder if anybody finished the sequence on one side. Can you just give us some feedback in the chat box whether you see any difference before and after, if you have a mirror too? Yeah, so questions or feedback are welcome. Just put them in the chat. Let me continue then to the next section if there isn't any questions. Yeah, so I don't see any questions. Okay, Josephine asked, could we sculpt the neck for? Okay, Josephine, what does sculpt the neck for means? Maybe you can explain a little bit more of your question. Yeah. So when we use the other side of the plate, we can answer that question later. We just follow with what has been planned first, okay? But what do you mean by other side? So far, we have used all the sides already. Okay, maybe would you like to explain your question a little bit more, Grace? On what do you mean by the other side of the plate? So we have the knife edge, the long edge, or the other one. Okay, yeah, you can use that afterwards. Okay, as we move along, we can come back and look at your question, Grace, on the use of the other side. Could you sculpt the neck using the same method? You can just push it downwards. The direction is downwards. Okay, Josephine? Yeah. So you see there are many things to sculpt, right, for a lady. I don't know about men. Okay, men, I don't know. Yeah, maybe nowadays they do all the sculpting. You can, direction is downwards. And we'll talk about neck again afterwards for other reasons. Yeah, but yes, you can. Yeah. Yeah, we follow the lesson first, okay? Yeah, I like your excitement, everybody. So now we are talking about along meridians here for headaches. Because headache is so common in Singapore. Everybody I know has a headache sometime in their life. So now we learn how to use it for headaches. So where headaches are concerned, these 4 areas or point are very important. Now, they are called area of point. Let me explain slowly, okay? So the first one is the gallbladder meridian. Gallbladder meridian are like on the side of your heads like that, like you can see in this picture. All right, so you can sweep and you can zigzag. So I'm going to show you that. So if you put on speaker view, you can see me. Now, this whole area is where my gallbladder meridian flow. So maybe Grace, you're asking, you have this side more of your plate. This is a good time to use it. You can just comb it like this. All right. Or you can also use the knife edge. Now, how to decide which side to use? You ask yourself which side feels more comfortable and better. Now, another more effective way is to use this long edge to do zigzag. Okay, just zigzag it in this direction. Now, the direction is very important. Don't do it the other way. So just zigzag it all the way down. And of course, don't stop at one side. You do it on one side, then you do it on the other side. So you have both sides. So if you have your Hokutolite plate now, you can do that together with me. Yeah? So I'm not doing it like a lot because I'm presenting. I need to look presentable when presenting. Otherwise, my hair ends up in a mess. Okay, my confidence would be affected presenting this, but you get the idea. Okay? To do your gallbladder. When you do that, you stimulate your gallbladder meridian. So that is step number 1. You can do that. So hope that is clear. Then Wendy's loving with me. Yeah, zigzag Mida. Zigzag will really, and sometimes when you zigzag, you could feel little knots underneath your plate. And those knots, the more you do that, the more you work out the knots. When you measure iron out the knots, there'll be very good flow. Okay, the next point, Bai Hui, is right on top of the head. Now, Bai Hui is a point right on top here, but you can actually do the whole direction forward. You can zigzag it down towards your hairline. Okay, now I just talk about these 2 points before I demo. So you start from the top of the head and you zigzag it forward to your hairline. And Feng Shi is actually GB20 at the back. Okay, I will show you also. So in other words, from the top of your head, you can go down in front and go down at the back. And then over here, you know, this is still Bai Hui, but around it, there are 4 points called Shi Shen Cong. But instead of just focusing on the point, you can use your plate to sweep in a radial way from the middle. Okay, this is like doing a clockwork from 12 o'clock, you know, the 12-hour clock. You can just scrape it outwards. So now I'm going to do the demo. Put down the share screen. All right, so from Bai Hui is actually at the top here. So what you can do is just zigzag it towards the front, towards your hairline. It can be very relaxing. Okay. And if you're doing down the back, Feng Shi is actually right at the back. Okay, over here at the base and corner of your skull. But instead of doing that point only, just go ahead and sweep broadly. All right, from the top, just sweep down. I hope you can see. Yeah, like combing, but you're combing backwards. Of course, you can either comb or zigzag. Okay, if I zigzag, I will be using the long edge. If I comb, try this edge or this one to see which one feels better for you. So either will work. So that's how you do that. And when you do your Shi Shen Cong, you know, you can use the long edge again. Just sweep it in a radial direction from the middle point, like you're doing clockwork. Sure, okay, already. My hair is messy already. Okay. Right, then if you have Echiro cream, what you can do is you can put a little bit of Echiro cream. All right, I have 3 fingers with Echiro cream in them, and I can just do this. All right, rub my Echiro cream into my scalp if I have a headache before I use my Hokutolite plate to start sweeping. So that's how the 2 can really work well together. Are we good so far on the steps for headaches? If you are good, can you type a 1 so I can move along? Clear? Okay, thanks Grace, thanks Wendy. Yeah, so the next time you get a headache, you'll probably be very excited because you're going to try, right? Yeah, you also say 1. Now there's one more point here. This is large intestine 4 point on your hand called Heku. It's an acupressure point, which normally it's a great point for headache. It's called a headache point. You can use your Hokutolite plate to locate it and massage it. So I'm going to demonstrate that. The picture is here. So now this plate is designed so nicely that when you put up your hand like this, you just sit the plate this way with the longer edge on top, right? All right, sit it here. And when you point it up, this point is exactly Li4. So one more time, use this to help you measure. Just sit this curve, all right, at your curvature here. There's a name for it. It's called tiger's mouth, Huko. So you just sit it here nicely. And when you tilt your Hokutolite plate, you're on Li4. And you can, use this to massage your Li4. All right, without having to use your own hand or finger. Was that clear? With the zoom and all of that, I'll show it on this hand. All right, this is where my, okay, just sit it there. So sit the curve there and tilt. When you tilt your Hokutolite plate, all right, your Hokutolite plate is on Li4. Okay, it's a little bit achy. If you feel that, great point for headaches or anything you're feeling on the head, that is a great point to go for. Okay. Yeah, if your left hand feels more achy than the right, it means there's a little bit more stagnation on the left, so you can work it a little bit more. Remember, it doesn't have to be extremely painful to work. Okay, gentle and repeated stimulation is better than brute force. Don't use brute force. Okay, so Teacher Evie also prepared this hand reflex chart for us, which is really great. And it's a great pastime, So on our hands, there are plenty of reflex area and zones that you can use your Hokutolite plate on. So, well, now people are very interested in chest and respiratory. So know that this fleshy part of your palm, when you work this whole area, is very good for breathing. Okay, if you have some stomach upset, you can use your Hokutolite plate to scrape. But this scraping is gentle, very gentle scraping, because the Hokutolite plate has 3 energies. It will do the work for you. So please do not, I repeat this many times, do not use brute force. No need. Okay, gently scrape. You can put Echiro cream here and scrape, even better. So you see, every finger has a meridian involved. Here you have the large intestine meridian, the pericardium meridian, triple warmer. So every finger is a meridian. And these points, you see the word here, intestine, kidney, they are reflex zone. They are reflex zone. So how do we work it now? This is what is suggested, right? How many of you like to watch Taiwan, Korean show, every day while you're watching the TV, right? Take your Hokutolite plate and start scraping the sides of your fingers. Every one of them this way, easy, right? So when you do this, you are actually stimulating all the meridian points, the reflex zones, to give yourself a good health maintenance program, 保健. Yeah, so when you do this, you're already moving the qi in the respective zone. And if you are not breathing so well, you can check and just use any of the edge that you feel comfortable. If I do this, I'm stimulating the respiratory zone on the flesh of my palm, if you remember. Okay, the key is not which side should I use. Which side feels better and more handy for you, it will work, because the entire plate is made of the same material. They're designed with this curve to help make things easy for you, if you understand that, okay? So there, you can do it on both sides. Now, those who have this, for example, if you feel stiffness in the joint, just scraping through all the finger briefly, you already feel a difference, in the quality and flexibility of the joints. Even better, if you first apply a layer of Echiro cream on it before putting the Hokutolite plate on it. Okay, cream before plate, it will work a lot better. Okay, 1 + 1 is more than 2. When you use them together, there's a synergistic effect. It will work even better. Okay, Yan Ling said, thank you for this. Shall remind my, yes, everybody watch TV, I think. Or whenever, you're sitting in a car, taking your Grab, just whip up your Hokutolite plate and start scraping. Now, friends that I introduced this plate to, they always bring it when they're traveling last time. So now you're not traveling, then do what? Then bring it when you're traveling this time, in your Grab, in your car, and then you can start doing. Yes, thank you, Dorothy. Love Herku, right? Love Herku point, yes. Now, if you have a cough, you can also do this scraping. I think just now, we do have a questions. Josephine asked, can you do it for the throat, the neck? And Rose asked, can you use it for the meridian? This is great for cough. Now, before you put the plate on, what would be a good thing to do? Anybody knows? Let's see whether you got listen or not to the presentation. Yes, very good. You first apply Echiro cream. So put Echiro cream on your neck, on your chest. Very good. See, Wendy, well done. Before you do that, okay, so neck, chest, chest down, and then chest out. Okay, so take a good look at this picture. 3 steps: neck, then middle of the chest, and then the side of the chest. And where it's the chest, where lung is concerned, what you're seeing on this line here is the lung meridian. Okay, it's the lung meridian. So how do you operate? So first, just use a side that you like and scrape down your neck. Gentle, cream first. As you scrape, then you do this line down the middle. You have a chest bone, and then you proceed. All right, to scrape, you can do like 8 counts, 8 counts, and then slowly move down your chest, 8 counts on each side. And you don't have to just do it once a day, especially if you're really having a chesty cough, you can do it repeated times. Okay, so, and then you can use this broad edge to just run, okay, run down your arm, the thumb side, because that's where the lung meridian is. Run it a few times if you're having a cough, okay? All right, so you can't see this very well, but I'm showing you to get an idea because you can see from the picture. All right, just sweep your arm down this way, thumb side, and that is your lung meridian. The direction is very important. This arrow is very important. When you move meridian chi, you have to follow the direction. You cannot do it the other way around, follow this direction. So this is great for cough. Okay, and not you can also do it for the on the back. You might not reach your back on your own, but let's say somebody close to you have a cough and you want to do it for them. Also work on their back because there's also the lungs are also close to the back. So on the back it's the same thing. Work down the spine in the middle, like this picture, but now it's the back, and then open up the spine left, right, left, right. You know, in other words, it's the same as these two pictures, just that now it's on the back. So you can do front and back. So I hope that is clear. One way you can use the Echiro cream and the plate for cough. For cold, these are the points that you can do. So just work down the entire middle, back, starting from the base of the skull, like what you see here, and also work down the scapula. All right, these are meridian pathway, the bladder channel or the bladder meridian. So again, put your Echiro cream on and then start scraping in this direction on the left and on the right. And you will cover, because there are important meridian points here, Feng Chi, which is on the left and right of the base of the skull, Da Zui, which is at the biggest protrusion of your spine, and Fei Shu Xue, which is next to your scapula. But you don't have to locate this point if you can't, because we're not trained in acupuncture. Just scrape downwards in the middle and then book the sides of the scapula on the left and the right. Which direction you start with is not so important as long as you cover both. So this will be very helpful for people with cold. So if you have bloating or diarrhea, these are the areas you can work with your Hokutolite plate. All right, on the back, this is more like lower back, and on the front, abdominal. Okay, so on the sides of this two, that works the bladder channel or the bladder meridian. On the front, you're working on the abdomen, where there are also a basket of acupressure point that you'll be covering. And the beauty is you don't have to know what they are, you don't have to know how to work them. When you use the plate to do it like you see in the picture, you are already activating the channel, activating the chi flow in those meridians. So again, you can put Echiro cream first before you scrape them down. Okay, lastly, for heart distress or chest pain, you can work the pericardium meridian. Now this one looks like the lung, but it's not. The lung is closer, the lung channel is closer to the thumb. All right, the pericardium channel or the pericardium meridian is closer to the middle finger. So it's the middle of your arm, starting from near the nipple. So you can scrape down this way as well. I will show you how you can do that afterwards, and massage some of these points here. Just putting your scraping your Hokutolite plate repeatedly along this, applying Echiro cream all along here. Really is you're not doing acupuncture, so you don't have to be pinpoint exact, right? But when you do it in the general direction, the direction is also coming out, same as the lung coming out. and that will stimulate. It should bring some relief if you have chest tension. Okay, so let me show you on this last one now. Okay, so from here you will go out. Okay, and you can see my palm. So sweep it all the way out, and you have some points here in the middle of the palm. You can do this back and forth. You can do this back and forth. Okay, you can work your middle finger. The middle finger is where it's good for heart chest tension. So you can do that scraping, or just stretch out your arm and just sweep like this. Okay, either knife edge or broad edge. And of course, you can do it on both sides. Okay, because meridian pathways are all bilateral both sides. So I hope you get the picture of how that is done. Okay, so these are just some ways that we can use the Hokutolite plate. And I hope that has been useful. Okay, yeah, Midas is Spider-Man, exactly. Okay, Spider-Man will shoot the rat like that. So that is all we have planned for today on this talk on Echiro cream and Hokutolite plate. Session has been recorded and it will be up on the YouTube channel, so you can always replay and learn alongside. So hope this has been helpful. So I hope I have answered all the questions. Anybody has any last questions before we end the session? Thank you, Cassandra. You're welcome. Okay. Hana say how to do for trigger finger. Now, it's not like a cure, but if you have a trigger finger, right, just put Echiro cream on the entire upper back all the way down the arm. All right, and just sweep outwards, like we mentioned for the lung and the pericardium. That's what you can do from this session, because we are not doing a whole session on trigger finger. And go ahead and scrape, you know, especially the finger that is affected, and even or just holding the plate in your hand when you are, say, watching TV or something will help improve the overall circulation in your hands. Okay, that's what we can add on at the end of the session. Yeah, a little bit more tips for that. Okay, so great. I think we have. Thank you, everyone. So we'll see you again in other sessions. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.